If you're just joining us, this is our special coverage of events in Aberdeenshire, principally, where the Queen is in residence at Balmoral, where her doctors have expressed concern about her health. And we are covering events there, and of course back in London as well, and at Windsor. A statement from Buckingham Palace released earlier this afternoon around lunchtime, saying that the 96-year-old monarch was placed under supervision after further evaluation, but that she did remain comfortable. That was the word used. And the BBC understands that now all 4 of the Queen's children are either at the Balmoral estate or they are now travelling there, because we've just seen some arrivals at Aberdeen. The Prince of Wales went to Balmoral with his wife, the Duchess of Cornwall, and in the past few minutes we've seen a group of the royal family touching down at Aberdeen Airport, and they're already on their way to the Balmoral estate. Reactions to the Queen's health and to the concerns about it have come in since that statement at just after midday today. The Prime Minister, Liz Truss, who only a couple of days ago was meeting the Queen at Balmoral, said the whole country will be deeply concerned by this news. And she said her thoughts, and those of everyone in the UK and the Commonwealth, are with the Queen and her family. And we are in a position now, I think, to talk to our medical editor, Fergus Walsh, who can join us. And Fergus, the question lots of viewers are asking this afternoon, and understandably so, asking questions about what doctors mean by comfortable, and when they talk about medical supervision, how intensive a supervision might that be, for example. They want to know about, trying to understand the phraseology being used.
Absolutely, Hugh. I think what we can say here is that the Palace have gone far further than they ever normally do. They normally don't give updates on members of the royal family's health, but the key phrase in the brief statement today was that doctors were concerned for Her Majesty's health. And then you've seen the arrival of key members of her family, her children, going to Balmoral now. And it is a shock for everybody, because we've all lived our lives with the Queen as a permanent fixture. She's 96 years old, and she's been in remarkably good health for pretty much all of that reign, only recently with those sporadic mobility issues. And just one thing, I mean, if you think that she has appointed 15 prime ministers, Hugh, over the years, the first one being Winston Churchill, who was born, I think, in 1874, and the latest, earlier this week, Liz Truss, who was born 101 years later. So that just gives you a sense of her longevity in terms of her service to the country. And she has had remarkably few health incidents until very recently. She spent a night in hospital in 2013, but I think with gastroenteritis. She's had a couple of minor operations, but apart from that, she has been in really robust health until the last year or so.
When we talk about people who are 96 years of age, Fergus, clearly it is no surprise that their health issues may well be accumulating. When we've talked about the Queen's mobility issues, that's a phrase, of course, used by Buckingham Palace itself. Again, that's given rise to some speculation. What is your guidance to viewers on that phrase, mobility issues?
Well, again, I have no special insights here on this, Hugh, because the Palace plays this very close to their chest. We saw her, we could all see in those photos earlier this week where she was greeting Liz Truss that she had a walking stick, but we've also seen some of the mobility issues that she's had, which prevented her, for example, not attending the state opening of Parliament for the first time, I think, in around 60 years. So she is 96, and obviously She has been in remarkably good health for a 96-year-old, but the palace has never been one to speculate or to give more than very, very short and brief statements on members of the royal family's health, and particularly the Queen's.
Fergus, many thanks for now. If there are any more points we'd like to raise in terms of questions that viewers are understandably asking, we'll be back. But thanks very much, Fergus Walsh, our medical editor. And with me here, of course, our royal correspondent, Nicholas Witchell, and Nick and I are doing what all of you are doing, which is waiting patiently for any news, if and when it comes. Nick, what would you say to sum up things so far?
I would say that there is deep concern. I think it is justified in saying deep concern given the movements of the family. I think that they would only be going en masse up to Balmoral, cancelling all their scheduled engagements today, breaking into their programme to be at the bedside either of their mother or of their grandmother if there was very real concern. I think Nicola Sturgeon used the word profound concern, and I think that that is the case. We have not been in this situation before, Hugh. We are in unknown territory really now, in which the head of state, our Queen for 70 years, is clearly suffering from significant health issues, sufficiently significant for her doctors to issue really an unprecedented statement expressing concern at her health, though adding that she was comfortable and is remaining at Balmoral. There appears to be no question of moving her to hospital. Now this comes after several days during which we've seen, if you like, clues that the health situation was heading in a negative direction. The fact that she couldn't go to London for the appointment of the new Prime Minister, the fact that that Privy Council meeting last night had to be cancelled, and that she had been ordered to rest by her doctors. Well, that's just most unlike her. And then this news just before lunchtime today at around 12:20, the statement from Buckingham Palace concerning her health. And this after so many months when they have said absolutely a minimum of information. They just have refused to talk about it. They say we're not giving a commentary on her health. And in a sense, I suppose they haven't had very much to say, because I don't think that there have been any significant changes up until now. Now, there are any number of rumours out there. We're not going to get into rumours. We're just going to stick to the facts. And as you said, we now must wait, along with everybody who is watching us, to see what further information may emerge.